Sleepy town settling for the night, where the Owens women live their lives. And it's about time that the back porch light comes on at that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street.
Hey, witch, hey.
Hey, witch, hey. I need to take my pills like an old person.
We old.
Them bones and joints are just sending out the Morse code every day. Crickety-cracks. Yeah, that's more like if you like twist an empty water bottle.
It just goes back to the Billy Butcher saying, like, just dust at this point. I'm hydrating myself because the weather here just keeps getting drier and drier, and I just feel my face just disintegrating. It's just dust.
Gotta use that SPF moisturizer, man.
Oh yeah, I need to get me some more my Trader Joe's lotion.
I'm gonna work on this for a second.
You drinking
Get
some tea?
warmed up. I got me some tea, man. I had some ginger sitting on the counter, and I don't know if somebody thought it was garbage, but it's gone.
What? Well, the only person that could have thrown it out is your husband, right?
Well, we had guests here over Thanksgiving too.
Right,
So maybe they thought they were helping.
Yeah.
I wish I had a better diffuser thing. This goes on the bottom of like a thermos.
Oh, right,
like,
yeah.
like a tumbler. But it's good. It's lemon, ginger, turmeric, and chamomile.
All the good stuff.
All that good stuff.
All that
All right.
good-
We're gonna have to start the hey witch hey thing again.
It's all right. We could use this if we want. It's chit chat.
I always say mine like a question. Hey witch hey.
Hey, witch, hey. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, things just evolve a certain way. I put my eyebrows on today.
You look beautiful.
I know because, well, thank you. Because I was like, well, if we're gonna be on camera, I should probably make it look like I have a face.
I put makeup on too, and it washed the rosemary out of my hair, and
Okay.
dude, we went for a walk, the dog and I found his electric beeper for his collar, and he went for a little swim, which usually is not too bad. We'll go home and he can last the day, but straight up smelled like fish when we got home. So I had to give him a bath, but I was already changed into this, and he shook it all over the place, and I'm just gonna stay in these clothes all day.
So now you smell like the seafood department at your local grocery store.
That's right. That's right. Or the midnight mass at a Croatian Christmas.
Where you're wearing your leather pants.
They were pleather.
Whatever. You're still rocking the I guess the Creed look.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh,
like-
did Creed have the sides, the pants that were like laced up the sides, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think everybody in the 90s rocked those, men or woman or whatever. Like everybody
Sweet.
just wore those.
Sweet. So
yes.
I misspoke on our last episode. Our last episode's going to come out before your birthday. This one is right after your birthday. So future you, I hope you had a wonderful birthday.
Thank you. It was great, I hope.
And everybody came dressed up as you.
I hope nobody fucked it up, but yes, thank you for everybody for coming to my birthday.
It's
don't know
weird
what's
living
going on.
in the future like this.
I know.
So many possibilities.
I don't even know what I'm doing for my birthday yet at this point.
No?
But it's weird because at the time this podcast, by the time this airs, I will have already celebrated.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird like time loop dynamic.
It is. Cool, man. Was there anything else you wanted to address before we go into our very first Song-i-sode?
Let's jump right in. I mean, we did have some fan mail that we wanted to read because we've been accumulating some messages over the past since we started airing, right?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's introduce ourselves first.
Oh yeah, we promised that you guys that we would do that. We're really bad at doing that. I'm Justina.
And I'm Kristina.
And we're the Stinas. And welcome to Magnolia Street. This is the one and only, as far as we know, the one and only Practical Magic Fandom podcast. So,
You're really good at that.
dude, when you grow up going to the Jersey Shore for the summer, you hear that a lot. Yeah, beating up the beat with Pauly D down. No.
Every now and then your Jersey accent comes out. Every now and then. It's specific words, and I'll tell you which ones next time I hear it fly out.
Is it coffee? no.
It's not. No, it wasn't coffee. It was something
I don't
with
even
an
say
A.
it like that. My mom says coffee, like seriously. And I'm like, Ma, it's
Cute.
it's coffee.
Ma.
Yeah.
I call
No,
my mom
yeah,
Ma
it's
too.
Ma. It's Ma. It's
Mhm.
not mom. It's Ma. Yeah.
Ma.
Hey Ma. Right.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go into some fan mail. We really appreciate all the support. And like the written word is so sweet and powerful. I think it means more now than it has ever has.
Yes, absolutely. And you guys keep the wind in our sails. It keeps us going. It keeps us pumped.
The wind beneath our wings.
It keeps us wanting to be here, showing up and bringing you all the practical magic. What do they call it? Hot goss? Is that what they say nowadays?
The hot goss, the hot tea.
Hot goss, the tea about all the practical magic stuff. So thank you for sending these in. This first one comes from Luminea, and she was the first one to send us in an email to our Gmail account. Yes, she wrote a really nice letter. So she said, "Hi, Justina and Kristina. I really enjoyed listening to the first episode of the Magnolia Street podcast today. I have been a huge fan of the movie ever since it was released in 1998. Hearing your stories of how you first encountered the film and the impact it has had on your lives really took me back to that time as well. The funny thing is, while I can't remember the very first time I watched Practical Magic that year, I do recall hearing about it from a friend and fellow witch. She told me that I absolutely had to see the film and that once I did, I would never want to cut my hair again."
Yes, so
Right?
true.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah. She said, "I must have looked at her funny, but she just smiled mysteriously and said, 'Trust me, you will love it.' And I have to admit, after meeting the aunts as portrayed by Diane Wiest and Stockard Channing, I fell in love with their hair, their clothes, their grimoire, their house, and of course, their entire lifestyle. At that time, I had been pagan for just over 5 years, and the Owens family had the absolute coolest witch aesthetic I had ever seen. Before that was even a thing. I guess the word aesthetic, the word aesthetic really blew up over the past like
for sure
10 years, right?
Yeah.
She says, portraying magic and feminine power in a positive and loving way, as opposed to, say, the craft. Let's just say that the Owens family has given me a lifetime of #witch goals." Yeah. I then eagerly read Alice Hoffman's book and found myself wishing that the aunts played more of a part in it, like they did in the movie version. So I was absolutely thrilled when Alice wrote 3 more books in the series. I really loved meeting Maria and the other family members in magic lessons, but I think the rules of magic stole my heart the most. I'm currently reading the Book of Magic and am a little sad that this will conclude the series. So your podcast is an awesome way for me to stay immersed in the magical world of the Owens family.
Oh, that makes me
That's our
feel so
goal.
good.
That's our goal. We want to keep you guys immersed. We want to keep you guys because the movie and the books can only take you so far, but
there has to be a natural conclusion to them.
Right. But I mean, we just can't stop talking about it. So we're going to keep talking about it as long as you guys are interested. So Luminea ends with, "I look forward to further episodes and especially to hearing more of your original music. I'm excited about it. Us too. And we're going to get into that today."
Yay.
So she says, "Thank you again for creating the podcast and bringing together other fans of the Owens family. I'm looking forward to your next episode. Warm wishes, Luminea."
Luminea, thank you so much. That was so sweet.
That was really sweet. And then I think she followed up in another email. She said, after she already listened to a couple episodes, she said, "I have enjoyed all the episodes so far, and you did draw my attention to a few things in the movie that I had never noticed before, like the name of the town and the toad on the top of the spell book. I read all of the books except for the last one, the Book of Magic, which I hope to get to soon. It was definitely fun to hear your comparison between the book and the movie." So
wonderful. Awesome. That's so sweet.
Yeah. So I love that, other fans of Practical Magic that have been listening to our podcast are also weighing in on the conversation and have noticed their own little things that maybe we have not noticed thus far, and they're weighing in and want to get in on the discussion. So I think this is a lot of fun.
I love that she said it perfectly. Like, the books were done, but I wanted more, which you're always going to want more, and we're just revisiting it from our own perspectives and our own opinions and point of view. And we love having your points of view too. So please write in and share those.
I know this is probably unpopular opinion, but I would not be upset if Alice Hoffman never wrote another book except for Practical Magic theme books. But I know at this point, she's probably so sick and tired of writing about the Owens family.
But there's so many singular stories she could do. Cause in that last book, Jillian doesn't really have a whole lot. I mean, I forget, but all of Jillian's life. But then would it be the same if not for a drama that surrounds their whole family? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What kind of story would you want to see?
Well, when I was watching her most recent Instagram live, she did an interview and she was saying how a lot of people are requesting a story about Vincent's storyline.
Ooh, yes.
So if there is going to be another story, that might be the one.
That would be really cool.
So
I saw somebody put like a fan who they would cast, and somebody put Timothy Chalamet as Vincent.
Who is
and
that?
I was like,
I don't even know who that is.
he's you fucking would.
I probably have seen him, but I can't put the face to the name. What else is he in?
He's in Dune.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw that.
Here, this guy.
He looks familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen anything he's been in.
He's like,
but I could see that.
Call Me by Your Name, Dune, Bones and All. Oh, Little Women.
Okay.
You see Little Women, the new one? Wonka.
No, I never saw the new one. But he's kind of giving me like, or what's his face from You? Penn Bagley.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. His dead eyes.
He's got that like alluring kind of mysterious kind of look, dark and brooding.
If we were to cast this in the past, in the 90s, it would be who the fuck plays Jess Mariano in Gilmore Girls? Milo Ventimiglia.
Yes. Him, or maybe like a very young Justin Theroux. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah. So along those lines.
Anyway, that would be cool to have Vincent's story.
Right. It would be. Okay. We're very good at sidetracking. All right. So we're going to move on to our next little message. This is from Alice of Which Way Official on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel, I believe, and she does a lot of reviews about 90s witch movies.
Neat.
Yeah. So she wrote to us in our Gmail and she said, "Hi, Stinas. I would love to hear an Owens family tree episode tracing the Owens women all the way back to Maria. Loving the podcast. Keep it up." And I agree. We're gonna definitely do a family tree episode down the line. We have to, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. And then she wrote again at some point. She said about episode 1, "Hey Stinas, thank you so much for starting the series. It was a great first episode and lovely to meet you both. Kristina, I remember watching your book verse movie on your YouTube ages ago. You two are going to do great. And the learn as you go vibes is a good motto to go by. That's exactly what I did with my YouTube channel, and I'm still learning and having fun. I can't wait for the next episode."
Fire emoji, black heart emoji.
Yeah. And then she weighed in on the episode 2 book verse movie. She said, "This was a great episode. I remember looking into the toads too. There is a superstition around the toad, as when its metaphoric life cycle wasn't well known, it was thought to appear fully formed, with some associations with witchcraft and the devil. In the earliest prequel, the spell book itself is actually bound in toad skin." And I do remember reading that, like, Maria, her not her biological mother, her adopted mother, right? Hannah, she bound the book in toad skin for her birthday or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's there's a reference of it being like cool to the touch or something. And y'all who are on the Patreon, there is actually, we did a house meditation. So I take you walking through the house as a way to relax and calm down. We go through all the rooms, and when you peek in on the like apothecary pantry, you can see, like, visualize that toad book of shadows there on the table. So we threw that in there for you.
Oh, that's so fun. Somebody actually, have you been peeking in our DMs lately? Somebody sent us a picture of the inside of their apothecary cabinet. I guess our episode inspired them to send us that.
Neat.
That is really nice.
Cool. I'll go take a look.
So this one's from Jen Moon Dancer on Instagram, and she said, "Hey, I listened to your podcast and I love it. I just have a few things to add to the things you both mentioned in the podcast. Jillian does continue to give Jimmy belladonna in the movie as well, but Sally gives him more than the usual dose Jillian does. He doesn't die immediately. He dies after hours of driving."
True.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you kind of miss that because it's a movie and time in a movie goes so much faster, you know? So maybe it seems as though he dies more instantly in the movie.
Right. Very true.
She says, "Gary cries in the book when he meets Sally because she makes coffee and it reminds him of his father, who always told him to share his opinions, and his father loved coffee."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think it was his grandfather though, right? Wasn't it his grandfather?
Because his dad died when he was pretty young.
Yeah,
so maybe it was his grandfather.
Yeah, because his grandfather raised him, right? But that's a good point, because initially I think I said in that episode that he cried because he just thought she was like the sight of a beautiful woman or something like that.
Don't we all wish, though?
I think you did say that, but I guess I missed the other part about the coffee.
No worries.
Which is interesting tidbit. She says, "In the book and in the movie, they are possessed by Jimmy, but in different ways. And Sally not being able to lie to Gary is because that's what he wished for in the movie. He wished for a woman that would never lie to him. Because Sally and him did the spell at the same time. He wished for her and she wished for him. Both of their wishes became the spell. So she says, I hope all of this information helps you both. If you ever need any help, I am happy to give you any advice or info. I love that you two made this podcast and I greatly enjoy listening to it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for weighing in. Guys, we encourage discussion. We want to talk
100%. We said in the
was-
very beginning, we are not professionals. We don't have any other information that is already available to the public out there, and we like your opinion.
Yeah,
So
and
thank
you
you
know,
for your help.
what you guys might have picked up on, we probably might not have picked up on, and vice versa. And that's what's so much fun about talking about this, because there's so many theories and twists and turns. Like, it's just so much fun. This one's from I Heart Practical Magic. Kim, what's up? On IG.
Kim.
Yeah, she said, okay, I had to share this with you. I just got a copy of the script from one of my followers, and I believe it's the original. It only lists Robin Swycord as the writer. And in it, Michael works in a hardware store, and he's outside in the rain helping a couple load up a lawnmower when a car careens out of control and hits him. She says it makes more sense than a bicycle race.
That's cool. Holy cow. That's awesome, Kim.
And I have to add this. And was it an addendum to her email? Mr. Johnny Mac on Instagram also he emailed us a script from 1997, a third draft of the script off of scriptcity.com. He said, after reading Rules of Magic, it makes me wonder why Alice Hoffman switched their names when writing the book. I can't help but imagine Franny as Diane Wiest and Aunt Jet as Stockard Channing.
Agreed.
So yeah, the script that he sent us is the third draft. So I'm not quite sure what the differences between the final draft and the draft that Kim sent us are, but we'll have to do a whole script episode
run through
of the script. Wouldn't that be so cool if we just it out the whole entire movie?
Are we legally allowed to do that? That would be so sweet. I could just see us there with like our highlighters, like highlighting all the differences we find.
Maybe it'll be a bonus episode on
Patreon. My God, would you do the script with me? Oh, I can't wait to be cast.
That would be hysterical. Unless we run a poll and our listeners can cast us in the roles.
And they can pick who. Oh my God. Okay.
They get to pick who we are.
I'm stoked for this.
That would be hysterical. Just a couple more. This one's from Cunning Celts or Celts. Hey guys, this episode has a really fun and chill vibe. It literally feels like sitting with some friends with a Prosecco and chatting. I don't know if you know the podcast The Villain Was Right, where they review movies from the villain's perspective, and they just did an episode on our favorite movie, and it's hilarious. You should listen. And they left a Spotify link, so we'll have to add that in the show notes below, because I did not listen to it yet. So
let's listen today together.
We'll have to listen to that together and kind of take some notes. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on that too. Oh my God, there's so much. And then they also say, and to answer the question you asked on the show about who you would cast in a remake, I would only be down for a remake if they made it Black. French Quarter of New Orleans, Greek Revival House, Old Hoodoo Family. Listen to this cast. Are you ready?
Oh, okay.
Angela Bassett as Aunt Frances, Alfred Woodward as Aunt Jet, Push Jumbo as Sally, and Zoe Kravitz as Jillian. How awesome would that spin, that twist?
I'm gonna just go evaporate right now. My whole body's in chills. That would be so sweet.
Are you an American Horror Story fan?
Yes, she is a goddess.
As Maria,
I love her.
Oh my God, she nailed that role.
Her arms are like chiseled out of stone. They're beautiful.
How old is she?
I have no idea.
She's immortal. She's not a human being.
She is not a human being.
Angela
Bassett. Great casting, Cunning Celt.
Yeah, very cool. I think that was our last message, and then we had a couple Apple Podcast reviews. So thank you guys for sending us an Apple Podcast review. If you guys listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please, we beg you to send us a review so then we get bumped up in the algorithm and more Practical Magic fans like yourself can find us and get in on this party, because we want it to be a big party. So Caitlin M924 says, love this new podcast. I'm a huge Practical Magic fan, and this podcast does not disappoint. It's like sitting with two friends and chatting about the magic of the film. Loved episode 2 where we look at the differences between book and movie, and the music is so good too. Can't wait to hear more episodes. So thank you, Caitlin, for sending that in.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then our very last Apple Podcast review. This comes from Daisha123, and she says, the header says, finally, in all caps. So she said, this podcast is so awesome. The 90s peeps that have carried this movie in their hearts for decades now can rejoice to have a podcast by fans for the fans. The Stinas have done such a great job putting together material focusing on the practical magic universe, and I can't imagine better hosts. Oh, you're so sweet.
What?
Yeah.
You put us on a pedestal. High
I know.
standard, man. We're bound to disappoint at some point.
There's pressure.
Yeah.
She ends with, thanks for sharing your love for the franchise with all of us. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. And we share these on our Instagram too. I hope y'all don't mind. We want to let folks know that y'all love us.
Yeah, well, we just want to, we're kind of trying to create a little community here, you know, bring all you guys, all the practical magic fans across the world together in one place. That's our goal.
Awesome. Thank you for reading those, and thank you all for sending them in.
Yeah. All right. So what are we talking about today?
Girl, I got our first Song-i-sode.
Oh my God. It's been a long time coming for this, right?
This will be episode 9?
Is this 9 or 10 at this point?
8?
Shit.
It's 8. It's 8.
Okay.
It's 8. And what better way to start than with our the namesake of our show and like our main album song, and what the album's named after, Magnolia Street. And we're going to talk a little bit about what it originally sounded like what the words were, and then I think Justina's going to treat us to a bit of like a live performance. We're going to do bits of the song and talk about them.
Yeah. I was looking through my I guess my audio recording notes on my phone just to kind of see the order of, because like everything's time stamped, right? This song, our Magnolia Street theme song, this song was the 7th song we wrote in this podcast.
Wow. What was the last edit date you had on there?
February 19th.
Wow.
Was the first iteration of this song.
Girl, did I text you or did I instant message you about like doing this project?
Oh, you texted me.
Shit, I wish I still had that message.
Oh, I'm sure I do. What, you don't have like,
I delete my
Really?
I delete all my shit.
You're good. I just let shit accumulate on my phone.
Okay, cool.
I could go back.
Oh my God, you'd have to go all the way back to end of January.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was something like, hey, I have an idea. Do you want to do a practical magic like concept album or something, just like something like that? And I was like, sold.
Cool.
I had just woken up. Like it was probably like 9 or 10 in the morning on like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that was, and you know, we weren't really close before that. Like we would send each other texts randomly, or like, hey, happy Yule, hey, happy Samhain, hey, hope everything's going well, happy birthday, like stuff like that. Like, you know,
I knew who I needed to call with this idea.
It wasn't Ghostbusters.
It's not Ghostbusters.
But this is I'm gonna be scrolling for a while, because this was last year at this point. It's almost been a year now. You realize that, right?
Whoa, happy anniversary.
Happy almost anniversary. Yeah, it was February. I think it was February.
You sent me a Hey Jimmy audio file February 17th. So that was the first one, huh?
Yeah, that was the very first one. I think I probably wrote that the same day you had asked me to do this, because I was so jazzed. I'm scrolling back. I'm still in November.
Are you sure? Okay, you sure it was a text?
Okay. I'm positive it was a text. Yeah, because I remember waking up to it and I was like, oh shit, that was before we even were marcoing each other.
Corey tagged us in an Instagram
just now.
Corey's Cauldron.
Oh yeah, that's another person we want to mention. Thanks, Corey's Cauldron.
Corey's Cauldron is like a full supporter of all these witchy podcasts, and likes to spotlight and let people know when and where to find all the witchy goodness that lies on the podcast forums.
Yeah, so thank you for blowing us up on there. We really appreciate it. All right. Okay, so you had texted me on December 27th, right after. Well, yeah, because it was right after you saw my dad made that album for me.
That's right, for Christmas. That's right.
So you texted me and you said, girl, your album has such a 90s nostalgic feel for me. I love it. Like Tori Amos or Letters to Cleo. I'm blown away. And I said, thanks so much. The 90s singer-songwriter chicks were a lot of what I listened to at that time when I was writing those songs. And then you sent me your Practical Magic inspired Spotify playlist screenshot.
Oh, fine. Uh-huh.
And you said, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, Justina presents Practical Magic, a concept album. And I wrote back, love that idea. And you
I'm
said,
not saying, I'm just saying.
so or no, I said, oh wait, you mean like make music based on things in the witches' lives? And you said, I mean a concept album where each song chronicles the storyline, but maybe bits and pieces of it told from different perspective. My brain is bursting, like I'm hearing the roses talk about boots and a dark shadow and growing wild and thorny. That's just me maybe imagining everything has a spirit and see everything we do. So I said,
Cute.
I love this. Maybe we need to write this together. Do I sense a collab? And you wrote, are we going to fucking collab? And you said, I'm just digging your album vibe. And I was like, well, I'd love to collab anytime. And you said, I have no idea how to begin. So I was, fire sign me. I was like, we got this. And then I'm pretty sure like that day I probably started writing Hey Jimmy, because that was the first one we wrote.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Do you have anything more on that? Or I wonder if you have anything that says Back Porch Light or Magnolia Street on there.
Let me scroll down a little bit, because again, Magnolia Street was the 7th song we wrote at this point.
Right.
So that's pretty far down. But let me search again. So yeah, this is when I guess this was the this is when we started using Marco, because you were like, hey, do you use Marco Polo at all? I'm like, what's that? Like a fucking old ass person. So you sent me lyrics. So you said, can you look at Back Porch Light real quick? Any idea for the lines toward the bottom? I was rhyming the first and second lines, third and fourth are just whatever. I said, okay, I'll take a look.
Or just whatever. That's what, yep, definitely writing,
so,
my writing style.
You sent me the doc of Back Porch Light here.
Cool.
Is that the same thing you put in the notes for this show?
I believe so.
All right. So I guess, Kristina, this was okay, so you sent me 2 songs that kind of snowballed this whole project, right? You sent me Roses, which was like a very soft lullaby kind of like melody.
It's like an eerie harmonized lullaby. It's very I was trying to make it eerie. Yes.
And it was just a very simple guitar picking part, right?
Yes.
And then you also sent me, I think it was this one, Back Porch Light, right?
The house is just such a magnet to people. It's like that having the back porch light on is like the bug zapper. Just you're pulling the bugs in or just pulling all the lovelorn ladies to the house. So it's like, how do we
to the flame? Yep, exactly.
Yeah, encapsulate that, but also make it sound different. So do we want to just talk about the lyrics? There's not many because it was an incomplete song. I, again, brain dumped and Justina filtered everything and made it a complete storyline. So I think we mentioned before that it's pretty similar to kind of the lyrics you hear now. And I'll include, I'm cringing at saying I'll include the audio, but I do have audio that I sent you of like the idea or chords that I was thinking.
Yes.
So I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
I don't know. We've never done a song-sode.
Let's just read through the lyrics. So these are Kristina's lyrics. So the thing that I really loved about your lyrics was that they painted a really nice picture about the town and the house and kind of just like the flora and fauna around this neighborhood and the mystery about kind of all of that.
I wanted it to be like one of those like a Stepford town, like to bring your mind, like having your lawn tailored just right, like an HOA, is going to come knocking, except the Owens house, which doesn't abide by any of those rules.
Right. And it's just this one house that kind of stands out amongst all these perfect little
Exactly.
houses.
Exactly. So the first 4 lines go as such. It says, sleepy town settled in for the night, where every lawn is tailored just right. It's about the time the back porch light comes on at the house down the street, which is very similar. It's just a different cadence that Justina nailed.
And I just have a little behind the scenes kind of moment here. The lyrics in the intro song that you guys hear, sleepy town settled in for the night, where the Owens women live their lives, like that, where the Owens women live their lives, that's not in the beginning of the actual song. I changed it specifically to kind of, I guess, make our intro song more specific to what the podcast is going to be about. So in the actual song, in the actual version of the full song that we're going to put on our Patreon, the beginning is a little bit different, but that's why, because for the podcast, we definitely wanted to pinpoint and get to the point of the gist of the song a lot quicker, because it's a theme song, like we wanted people to know right off the bat that, the Owens family, this is what it's about. But the actual song wanted to build a little more anticipation, So we started off with same thing that you just said, Kristina, sleepy town settled in for the night, where every lawn is tailored just right. It's about time that the back porch light comes on, right? So originally,
I definitely didn't need to have that at the house down the street, because it didn't have any place in the rhythm.
Right.
So I love that you left it out. It didn't need to be in there. We
But
already know that it's
I
tucked
didn't
away.
leave it out. I didn't leave it out. I changed the chord structure and I spotlighted it instead. So I started chugging the dun dun dun
Oh,
at that
yes.
house down the street. I prolonged it to kind
It's
of
much better.
give it that spotlight that it needed, because that's what this song is about. It's about, well, initially it was about the back porch light, but in my mind, I really wanted to make it about the house because we didn't have a song about the house yet,
Yes.
you know?
So I think you did a great job, because initially I had the back porch light comes on at the house down the street, and that was it.
Yeah.
So you really put a spotlight on that. We're going to use that spotlight word a
I
lot in this episode.
I gave it a little bit of that T-Swift vibe. Like, she does a lot of walk downs. Here, let me grab my guitar and I'll show you what I mean. All right, so basically what I'm talking about. So initially your melody was pretty straightforward, and at that house down the street, that lyric kind of followed the same format as the previous lines, right?
It did. So I guess I can just insert that little bit here audio-wise.
Sleepy town settled in for the night. Every lawn is tailored just right. It's about the time that the back porch light comes on at the house down the street.
All right, yeah, so that's Kristina's version. So then what I kind of did to it is I kind of took that line at that house down the street. I took that, separated it from that whole first verse, and kind of gave it its own little pre-chorus kind of feel, and gave it a little bit of a different feel. And what I mean by the T-Swift walk down, she does a lot of she does a lot of this. So it's like street. She does a lot of walk downs like that. So yeah, I took a page out of her book on the walk down. I love walk downs on C. I think it sounds so pretty.
It's very pretty.
So it just gives it that like kind of folky, kind of country type of poppy vibe. So then it goes back to at the house on Magnolia Street. Just reiterating, you know, where this is taking place, where this is going down. And then that's kind of the, I guess, if you want to call it the hook, or that like that line that kind of just grabs you, like now you know what this song is about. You know, before we even get to the chorus.
Right. We're not even there yet. We didn't even get to the second verse yet.
Right.
It's perfect.
Let me tune this shit. You can continue to, I guess, if you want to read the next.
Yeah, I'll tell him about the second verse. Justina's going to tune her guitar a little bit. So the second verse, I wanted to like consider what this sleepy town would find vulgar or disdainful, or, you know, who keeps doves? A, but B, who keeps doves for like spell work? So we pull the doves in, and the lines go like this. It says, pretty doves might be just what you need, or it might be a little rum in your tea. Either way, you should pay them a call when the twilight sinks low. And you could take that either way. Like, they have all the remedies. You could go with one problem, I suppose, and then leave with a remedy you didn't know you needed. I'm going to leave it there.
All right, we're good.
We good.
All right, so where are we at?
So yeah, the end of the second verse, I was ending the same way. I didn't have any of the chunking at the house down the street. I was just throwing in when the twilight sinks low. It wasn't connected to anything. So I think, did you add back at the house down the street for this line too? Tell us about the second verse.
All right, so my second verse, I actually added an additional verse after your first verse. So yours goes, sleepy town settled in for the night, where every lawn is tailored just right. It's about the time that the back porch light comes on. And then before I even go to at that house down the street, I added another section which goes more into the history of the house and kind of the flora and fauna. So I say, on this land that holds a history, lovers lost in a garden of rosemary, and wouldn't you like to know what lies behind those walls? And then that's when I added at that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street. Yeah, so then my verse 2 kind of picked up where you left off with the pretty doves. I left what you wrote there. I put, pretty doves might be just what you need, or it might be a little rum in your tea. Either way, they say you should pay them a call. It's the same thing basically of what you have here. Those are pretty identical for the most part. I think I changed maybe like a few words just to make it roll
the cadence a little easier.
Yeah. And then you had a chorus there.
I did. Do you want to play the first verse the whole way through, and or the second? I know they get a taste of it in the intro, but how do you feel about playing a bit of it?
All right, so and then it goes back to the
I love that. Dude, that like the walk down reminds me of like skipping on the Bluestone path. I like that.
Oh, yeah. And like also another kind of we can add this in I guess the show notes or whatever. We made playlists for all of these songs, kind of like other songs that inspired, I guess, the writing of all of our songs. And also production wise, it's important to have kind of like a roadmap of where you want to go with production on a song. And listening
Mhm.
to a lot of other music kind of helps kind of jog inspiration for how you want your song to sound.
Mhm.
Not that you're copying, but like it gives you kind of a place to start from, and like if you're like, oh, I like the bells in that song, bookmark it, and it's like a scrapbook. It's like an audio scrapbook of all the little elements you like from other songs that you kind of want to incorporate into your own song. So we started a playlist for all of these songs that we wrote and kind of like
Mhm.
other songs that inspired, our own music for this project. So yeah, we'll have to add some of the music that or a playlist that inspired this song. And one of the songs that kind of came to me in my mind was a lot of music from like Little Shop of Horrors, like the intro songs, like how they
Like a
like
little doo-woppy.
yeah, like something of the sort. So
The chorus that I had was like low. So I guess I'll play that here.
Those women like to cause a stir. If you're not careful, you'll end up like the rest, 6 feet under. But it's up to you. A curse or a cure. Something. See, that's where I'm like, I wanted there to be a build there, but that's kind of what I got going.
Okay, so the lyrics are those women like to cause a stir, and if you're not careful, you'll love them, maybe forever. You'll end up like all the rest, 6 feet below. So then Justina worked her magic.
well, you had other stuff here, right?
Oh shit, okay. I don't know if this was part of the chorus, but I think this was a new verse I was going for that everyone knows but does not speak. I think that was a new verse I was starting.
Okay. Yeah, why they go down to Magnolia Street on the nights when the air is thick and the black toads sing. I loved that line that you had there. I was like, that line cannot leave. We're keeping that line.
Good.
So I think
Everyone knows
I
but they dare not speak. Why they go down to Magnolia Street on the nights when the air is thick and the black toads sing.
Yeah.
You can just feel like the humidity, you
I
know?
Yeah. And like the toads, man, you got to keep the toads in there. So,
For sure.
all right. So, yeah, I kept in your pretty does, maybe just what you need, rum in your tea, pay them a call. I kept that whole section that you had in there. Then I wanted to paint more of a picture of what's so intriguing about this family.
Mhm.
So I added, there resides a family of intrigue. All the men the Owens women loved are buried. And when the moon is full, they dance naked in the street.
Love
all
it
the reasons
so much.
All the reasons why people talk so much shit about them, right?
Yeah, I love that so much.
So then I kept the line about, wait, did you have a line about the twilight in here? Yeah, you said
Yes, at the end, when the twilight sinks low at the end of
Yeah,
that
you
second
had
bit.
when the twilight sinks low. So I added that little bit and I kind of scooched that on over after the second verse and added it kind of more as like a pre-chorus. It's like another walk down situation. So it goes, where the twilight sinks below the sea, at their house on Magnolia Street. And now here is where the chorus comes in finally, because like we spent 2 verses kind of like building this up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the chorus, I really kind of wanted it to be kind of fun, kind of catchy, kind of poppy. So the chorus goes, would you go down to Magnolia Street where the wisteria grow out, and the house of magic and mystery? So would you go down to Magnolia Street? But the original didn't sound like that at all. And
No.
no. Well, not yours. There's a first version, like a first draft of when I first recorded it.
What did it sound like?
It doesn't sound like that at all either. I'll pop it in. We'll pop it in right here. So here's
Okay.
what my very first chorus of I guess, the recomposition of Kristina's chorus sounded like. At the house on Magnolia Street, would you meet me on Magnolia Street where the wisteria vines grow out? Around the house shrouded in mystery, but would you meet me on Magnolia Street?
Whoa!
Very very different.
Much more poppy. And I like that you changed it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I don't know, it's just like a natural feeling. Like I could just tell that the words didn't flow. Like it just didn't
Okay.
like the vibe it wasn't quite there yet. Like it was just me and my mind just brain dumping and kind of getting a vibe out first, and then I go back and refine and retune and kind of shape the words to fit my mouth, I guess your mouth palette a little better. Like you can feel when
Mouth palette.
you can feel when words sound wonky to kind of sing. It didn't feel natural. So I kind of shifted some words around and changed, fine-tuned some things to make it feel better to sing.
Well, I love that you changed it from that "Would you meet me on Magnolia Street?" because that to me makes it sound more of a love song.
Yeah.
And this is a "Would you go down to Magnolia Street?" is almost like a dare,
Yeah,
I like that much more.
Yeah, totally. I 100%. Yeah, that's it. Just I guess it arrived at where it needed to be. Just kind
That's
of
cool.
naturally progressed to where it needed to ultimately rest at. So
Yeah.
I'm happy where it's at now. It's at a
Yes.
like
Those women like to cause a stir. You ended up using that as the bridge. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are we there, or is there more in front of is there
Yeah,
like a
that's
whole nother chorus or verse?
no, that's that main chorus goes right into the bridge at that point. And yeah, you had those women like to cause a stir in the beginning of your chorus. But I
Right.
took that and I kind of added that as an intro to the bridge, and kind of like the whole bridge, kind of what you just said about like it's like a dare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the whole bridge is kind of like that kind of dare kind of vibe. It's like those women like to cause a stir. Would you take your chances on a curse or a cure?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's kind of like talking about just like their whole aura, like it's a luck of the draw, but it's more of the allure. Nobody knows if they're gonna go there and get something good or something bad, but it doesn't matter. It's just because they just draw you in regardless, just because of
I
their
have full body chills right now.
right.
I'm not lying. I'm not saying that for the show. It's just your passion for writing shows, and I think you created a great song from like
Well,
literal shit.
we created a good song because
Yay us.
everything is essential. Even the stuff that you think is garbage or the stuff that you think it's not going to be part of the main song. Like it's about taking
That's
those
the learning curve.
yeah, and it's about just taking those little bits and pieces. It's a puzzle. When you first have a puzzle, you really don't know how the pieces are going to fit together right off the bat. You're just kind of like looking at a lot of pieces just like in a pile. It's a little bit of an overwhelming feeling. Like
But
shit.
all those pieces are flipped over, so you only have the brown side showing. That's what you've done.
But I mean, that's part of the process, and that's what's so I guess exhilarating for me about songwriting is like kind of finding how to fit those pieces together and arriving at a really beautiful masterpiece when it's all done. So
You did a great job. Do you want to play us the bridge a little bit?
yeah, so
Those women like to cause a stir. Would you take your chances on a curse or a cure? It's a luck of the draw, but it's more the allure. When roses grow out of season, it's all more of the reason to go down to Magnolia Street where the wisteria grow out, and the house of magic and mystery. So would you go down? Would you go down to Magnolia Street where everybody knows but dare not speak about it? They jump off the roof on All Hallows Eve. Quite the sight to see at that house down the street on the nights when the air is thick and the black toads sing. But you didn't go down to Magnolia Street. Magnolia Street. Magnolia Street. Magnolia Street. Magnolia Street.
Woo, 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 woo. Girl, I want to say a few things. Okay, so firstly, I love the almost like bittersweet sound that when you say when the black toads sing, how you say that is almost like it's a bittersweet view on this place, because from an outside perspective, it's definitely from an outside perspective, and they know that they're never going to be a part of that family, like as much as they are like outcasts in the story. Like who wouldn't want to be raised in that house like full of like loving, talented, magical women? And that to me like brings it back to like, oh, I'm not, maybe I can go and get what I need, but I'm never going to be allowed to stay there, you know, and be a part of their family. So that to me is what I got out of that last bit.
Awesome. Yeah. Did you have that line about, yes, you had the line about you said on the nights when the air is thick and the black toads sing. That was part of, what, was that part of one of your choruses?
I think it was part of a verse. Yeah, but you definitely put the perfect inflection, you know, and placed it exactly where it needs to be.
I feel like that needed its own, we'll say it again, its own spotlight, you know? So those certain lines that I really fell in love with the stuff that you gave me, like I just really wanted to showcase those lines in a better way, and the best way to do that is kind of like elongating, I guess, the note, like holding out that note. And again, that walk down, that's on the walk down. It kind of gives it that emotional feel to it. It makes it more emotional. So yeah, I guess that's what I did with that line. And then it just goes back to, but you did go down to Magnolia Street, you know? And again, it's that dare, going back to that dare, like a normal person that lives in that town. It's an intriguing thing. It's a mystery. It's like everybody talks about it, whether it's good or bad, it intrigues everybody, and everybody draws them in, no matter who you are and what you believe about them.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only line that I think that you threw my way with this song was that I didn't use was the bit about the Bluestone Path. I don't think I added the Bluestone Path in this song.
Yeah, I think we have it in other songs though. So
yeah, I think it was in Blood Oath.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. So I think I kind of like, you know, when you dig up a root ball and you plant it somewhere else.
Yes.
It was kind of like that.
You transplanted it.
Yeah, we transplanted it. We took it from one song and we're like, okay, I really like this lyric, but it doesn't fit in this song, so we'll put it in another song. So we ended up putting it in the song of the Blood Oath song we wrote about Sally and Jilly, and that whole Blood Oath scene in the beginning when the Sally's standing at the banister on the porch, and Jillian's about to run away. So we put it in that song because I feel like it matched that vibe a lot better, because that song to me, and the scene itself, just gives me like those dark blue kind of dreamy like nighttime hues. So the Bluestone Path to me kind of like fit that vibe a little better.
Awesome. I wonder when we're gonna be able to talk about that one. We have so many songs, man.
We have a lot of songs. And how do we want to do these song-isodes? Because I know this one's like probably like the 8th or 9th episode. No rhyme or reason, like we just knew we had to do one soon, and this one was the best one to do since it's our theme song. You guys are already familiar with it. You hear it every week before our episodes, so we thought this one was the best one to start with. But as far as going from here, I don't know.
So I think I have it set up for about every 3 months at the end of that month. So it's funny that like March has 5 weeks in it.
Oh wow.
June has 5 weeks in it, and so does September, but I moved that one. So almost every 3 months we're gonna do a song-isode, and then All Hallows Eve one I put in October. So I think we'll have about 4 song-isodes this year.
Okay.
So that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Do you think that's not enough for the course of the next year?
I'm down to do more. I'm really down to do more.
Okay, we'll leave it to you guys. Do you guys want more song-isodes, like more frequently, or do you like them more spread out? Because I know you guys want more content and want to hear us talk about the movie and the books more. I mean, being that, you know, this did start as a musical project, we understand that you guys probably want to hear us just gab about the book and movies. But if you want to hear more of our music, because I mean, that is why we started this, right? We wanted to showcase our songs. But again, we don't want to use this as a main stage for the music.
Right.
So let us know what you guys want to hear. Do you want to hear more song-isodes? Do you want to hear more gabbing? We'd really love to know your thoughts. So
yeah. So yeah, right now it's about 4 song-isodes a year. So if you want more, shout it out.
We'll do more if you want to hear more. But yeah, just gauging for now, just gauging what you guys want to hear. And we got feedback pretty quick, like when we were like, hey, do you guys want short episodes? Do you want long episodes? And we got a lot of people
immediately.
like, long episodes. So
we're like, we're so sorry. We already had another episode that was super long and we cut it in half. And thank God somebody said something because we just slapped that thing back together.
Yeah. I think it was a house episode, right? That ended up being like 3 hours long. We were gonna do another 2-part episode. They're like, nah, long episodes. We're like, all right. And it was more than one person. So long episodes from now on. And if you guys want more song-i-sodes, we'll do more song-i-sodes from now on.
Yes. So this was so fun. Our first song-i-sode. And if y'all want to hear the full song, we are going to be putting it on Patreon, so you can listen to the whole thing uninterrupted by me gabbing and being like, oh, that's awesome, you're so talented. So it's going to be on our Patreon $8 tier, and you can find us over at patreon.com/Magnolia Street podcast, and that gives you access to also our private Facebook group and our Discord, which is popping off, and we're kind of putting plans together for that book club starting in January. So if you want to join us for that, that's where to find the information.
Yeah.
Where can they find us on Instagram?
Instagram.com/Magnolia Street podcast. Did I ever show you this book that I made? That my little note, my binder of notes?
Yes, super cute. Justina has like a portfolio of all of our songs in a pink and black song binder.
Yeah,
it's very 90s.
Oh God, it's so nice. The only thing I'm missing is like the Trapper Keeper.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But did I show you the inside of it? I have.
Oh, you printed it out.
The watercolor, and then in this little pocket here, I have my little Polyvore. Do you remember
my Polly Pocket? Yes.
It was like a website where you could make like clip art, but like fashion clip art.
Yes.
And I made like all these different practical magic clip art.
Yeah, like mood boards.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, also I want to say for patrons for the $8 tier, we're going to be including like the lyrics, but we also have a lot of the original lyrics that are handwritten too. So if you want to see, you be on the ground running like with this project and see the original shit before it's buffed and shined, that's where to find it.
And just a note that the tracks that we'll be posting to our Patreon, they are still very rough cuts. Just me and an acoustic guitar for the most part. Maybe I'll add some harmonies here and there, but basically everything that you get on our Patreon is just very, very rough. So you guys are getting all of like our very early renditions of these songs. And our goal is ultimately to actually record these for real, and we would love to do a fully produced version of all of these tracks.
Yeah, so y'all will hear the original track, and then here's what we're gonna do. Broadway.
Yes.
Broadway.
Done deal.
Practical Magic, the musical.
Oh, can you imagine with these songs? Oh, what a dream. What a dream.
I can't imagine.
But we have to. Dream big, girl.
I am dreaming big. That's why I keep saying anytime it's like, we're going to interview Alice Hoffman, you're like, we don't have any plans for that. I want to put it out there that we are going to do this.
I know.
And Peter Griffin Dunn. Peter. Oh man, guys, we again thank you for all your wonderful mail, and if you want to send us anything, your information, send it to magnoliastreetpodcast@gmail.com.
You can send us your firstborns, your puppy dogs, your kitty cats. We'll take anything.
Social security numbers, tax information. And do we have any other socials?
I think we covered them all. So.
If you didn't say happy birthday to Justina, her birthday was December 20th, so go say happy birthday.
You can at me at Justina's World Official.
There you go. All right, that's it for our very first song-i-sode. I hope y'all enjoyed.
We're the Stinas, and we'll see you next time.
At that house down the street, at that house on Magnolia Street, would you go down to Magnolia Street with the wisteria girl out? And that house of magic and mystery, so would you go down to Magnolia Street?
Okay, I'm good with it.
Oh, you're like, you just like lag.
Oh, maybe it was my stroke mouth. I was like, I'm good with it.
No, like you literally sounded
like
a robot for a second. It was weird.
Was I growling at you?
Yeah.